With us today, we got Joe, Trigger Joe Britson.
All right, let's go.
Boom! To try to get a matchup with a gunner. Oh, goes the lead. Francis is gunner.
Well, this is just a fist. When I start throwing it around, I can leave one hell of a mess. Let's dance.
Multiple occasions. Wow. It looks like they're going to swing to the very end.
And he wasn't kidding.
Wow.
It's very rare.
What a finish. Another one.
It really poses the question, what do you want to do? Do you want to take a chance and risk getting knocked out?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Trying to take care of business, trying to get to goal. It's a knockout. Oh, my It's a God. Knockout.
And it's closing in. Trying to finish it. And it's over.
Because I'm going to take this foot and I'm going to whop you on that side of your face. There's not a goddamn thing you can do about it.
Clock is brought to you by Modelo.
I killed it!
Punch me right in the face, man.
And we have a new nickname. Okay, we have William Send It 7 Pearson. All right, other than that, we used to call him Willie Pete. We used to call him the Mad Russian.
For his opponent to be quicker on the canvas.
Now you're going to get it, Bobby.
I think you've had enough. No? Now you've had enough. Bitch.
Wow. How good is this?
Finish him.
Another one.
Everybody gets triggered. It's just if you become a pansy or not. That's in the Book of Earl.
I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
You called down the thunder. Well, now you got it.
Gotta be very careful.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Sports Betting Show with your hosts, Trigger Joe, Send It 7 Pearson, and the Big Earl. UFC, NFL, if it's on, we're betting on it.
Lend me your eyes and ears for a moment. Take a look at the screen. There are multiple reasons that destroy our veteran brothers and sisters. There isn't just one answer. One of the problems is opioid addiction. Happy Place Hemp has bought into our mission to combat this addiction. If you are suffering from chronic pain or insomnia, go to elevatedhempsolutions.com and use the code VTT25 off to save 25% on your journey to a healthier you. Works Nation, hey, a little time change. So if you're waking up this morning, you're getting that coffee with, Send It 7 Bill out on the West Coast at 6 a.m. Hey, God bless you for watching. But other than that, if you're on the East Coast and you're not awake yet, get up. All right. It's 9 o'clock. Do something with your life. All right. So yeah, I had the Big Earl. Got to take it a little easy on Friday nights now because got to get up early on Saturday. So my clown picks might not be as perfect as they usually are, but you just never know. Hey, big shout out to our sponsors. All right. Happy Place Hemp, Elevated Hemp Solution. You saw the ad earlier. Yeah, I know my voice is great for that. But so go on there, put the code VTT25 off and get 25% off of hemp products. So that's actually a really good discount. Go to 10th Mountain Whiskey. All right. They're another big sponsor of ours. And you put in the code VTT, get yourself some bourbon, some whiskey, some whatever floats your boat, get a discount that they give to our community. And then, of course, Zach Farkas at the Veterans Mortgage Source. You can go to all of the, see all of our sponsors at veterantrashtalk.com. And that being said, we can also go to the store for Gruntworks clothing or shop.veterantrashtalk.com during the show and put in the code VTTGW and get a discount. And because it's 7:00 in the morning, I got my JP8 coffee in my Two Panther mug. So I'm going to go with Gruntworks coffee today. And then with the Golden Brigade, the 3rd Brigade, 82nd Airborne, the best brigade ever in science. So it just is what it is. But hey, Bill hasn't been on in a couple weeks because he's busy. He has a job now. All right.
I haven't felt like myself, Nick.
Yeah.
I really miss Bill. It's been really bothering me.
And then we got Joseph Salzman from Missouri watching. So thanks for tuning in.
Big dog. Great name.
Yeah. And hey, we're going to go through these fights. All right. And then we're going to go through some NFL picks. And again, if you like to gamble, all right, pay attention to these guys. They're really good. NFL's been struggling, but anybody who's been hot in the NFL last 2 weeks probably doesn't have a brain. All right. So you just got to get lucky. But that's
Miami over Baltimore.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you tell me you called that one. Lose my number because you're a liar.
Yeah. I mean, I might buy that. You think they might have covered the spread, but you weren't calling them to be a 2-score winner. But that's just the way it is. That's why we say Vegas has big buildings. So if you don't have the money to gamble, then don't gamble. All right. If you got a little bit of scratch, listen to these guys' locks, and then you're going to bet the big parlays that they say, just be ready for that parlay to lose by some judge's stupid decision in one fight. All right. You just never know. So welcome to the show. Triggered Joe Britson and Bill Send It 7 Pearson. Go to their pages on Facebook. All right. Send It 7 and then VTT's Triggered Joe and follow their page. And of course, the Big Earl. You can follow me anytime. I'm a lot more funnier these guys, but I post daily.
More funnier, Bill.
More funnier.
Yeah. More funnier.
Yeah. More funnier. And so anyways, welcome to UFC Fight Night Pick'em. And these fights will happen in a couple hours. So we're going to give you all the latest and greatest up to date. So the last time we didn't do too well in the parlays last week on UFC 268, but we did hit some bets.
Well, I did school our boy George Bardos. I did go ahead.
Got wrecked.
I did go ahead and put that U of M whooping on him. So we'll see how we settle that bet, but he knows the drill. No, honestly though, we picked almost exactly the same.
Except he went communist.
Yeah, I gambled on Billy Q. I bet Rose. He bet China, and that was a unbelievably close fight. But yeah, we went 5 for 6 last week because of the Billy Q fight. Yeah. And Phil Hawes getting teed off.
I hit a 9-fighter.
Whoa, nice.
Yeah. Who do you remember it? Like who you had?
I could bring up. Well, maybe one of you was. I bet Curtis was the underdog.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, post that on your page. Post that 9-fighter up there.
Good play there, Bill, because that was definitely the one thing Curtis could do, and that was, Hawes getting a boxing match with him is what gave him a chance, and Hawes lost.
Yep.
He paid the ultimate price with that one.
But hey, these guys at the end of the show, so stick around. All right, they'll give you their locks and their DraftKings sleeper and maybe some of the parlays that they're thinking about doing. And remember, Vegas has really big buildings, and they used to give away free food because they make money. All right, they make lots of money off people betting. Pulisic will score a goal at plus 900, and he scored a goal. All right, last night. So that was like just happens, but it is what it is.
I'm drinking a America style bang in celebration of us whooping Mexico in soccer. Doesn't always happen with us, does it? I mean,
well, we've beat them
usually win that one.
We beat them 3 times in a row now. But it just is what it is. I
wonder if any of their players are going to have a family member murdered by cartel that lost money on them.
That's Colombia. So
whoops, my bad.
That's if you're playing in El Salvador. All right. So those are the things that happen when you lose.
The hand of God goal.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, again, so please go support our show and our stores and all that good stuff. And let's get right down into the fights. So the first one is a bantamweight fight. Now, remember, when the Big Earl is betting his clown picks, feel free to pick them, but you're probably going to lose. All right. And usually my finishes are not even bettable, but we'll see if we can get that changed. We got a bantamweight fight with these guys. Are you kidding me already? You opened me up with this. We got Song Yadong, all right, at like 17-5 versus, I think it was Julius Arce, okay, at 17-4. And like Julio, what is his name? I mean, it's like
the second one.
Yeah, either way, both these guys got the shit kicked out of them their whole life. All right, that's why they're professional fighters. Because imagine, Song Yadong going to a new school. Hi, I'm Song Yadong, and then he just gets punched in the face by the biggest bully right away. So, because his name's Yadong. So I'm gonna call a draw, but I'm gonna say that this will be the fight of the night because both these guys. They just got beat up their whole life, so they're just gonna keep smacking each other until it goes down, like until there's just no more time left, and then the rest are gonna be like, fuck it, just whatever. But Joe, what do you got?
I don't know if it's the coffee or the absence of 10th Mountain Bourbon, but that was probably one of the closest spot on analysis you've ever given.
It really was.
it was lucid. It was well thought out, and I'm a little surprised. So yeah, this honestly,
I haven't watched any of these guys fight in my life, so I don't know.
fight of the night written all over it. Arce has kind of reinvented himself at 135 and looked really good. And TKO'd a pretty durable Ewell in his last fight. So he's got a 3-inch reach advantage also, but I'm gonna go with the talent. I think Song Yadong is I think he's capable of making a serious run in this division. He's 23 years old. He trains with Team Alpha Male, and even though I can't stand those guys, they turn out animals. TJ Dillashaw, as much as I can't stand him, comes out of that camp and he's an animal. And they all swear by him and they think he's the next greatest thing. So I'm going to go ahead and say Yadong in a split decision. I don't think he finishes Arce. I don't think Arce finishes him, but I think Yadong's going to incorporate some wrestling to not sit there and strike with him, and he is a good wrestler. So Yadong's a really good athlete, man, and he's young, and if he's on his game and he's sharp, I think it's his fight to lose.
All right, so there's your first pick from Trigger Joe. Now, when we talked about George earlier, George came on the show last week and was a guest picker. And before the show started, he told us all about how experienced he was as a fighter. He told us how experienced he was with his knowledge, and he still came on here and got the shit kicked out of him by our experts. Okay, so again, these guys will put up $100 of their own money.
Hey, George, request some mat time. Hey,
George, we love you.
Mat time with Bill.
Yeah,
or not Bill. I was saying Bill. He's going to request some mat time with Nick.
Yeah,
he keeps saying he wants to get somebody on the mat.
He'll probably lose that one too. But it's just the way it is. Some people just, they're really skilled, but they just never win.
He goes about 270.
Yeah. And again, these guys will put up $100 of their own money to challenge you. Now, if you lose, all you got to do is just go buy one of our shirts, and that's like $20. All right. So just like you're at least you're going to get a shirt out of it no matter what. And you might get $100. But yeah, so Bill is the actual champ of this team. As you look at the way these two guys pick, all right, if you want to make big money, you bet with Joe, because he always throws some stupid bet in a parlay that none of us talk about, and it's always what is that one, and it's like, but that put our odds up to like $10,000, and I'm like, and then Bill's like, oh, I hit all 7 of my parlays today, and there's all the safe simple ones. So there's 2 ways you can bet. You can go with Bill and win a couple $100, or you go with Joe's parlays and you win like 10 grand if it hits.
Excuse me. Bill said he hit a 9 fighter last week.
There probably wasn't one guy in the third round.
Virtually impossible for anybody else. So he's betting long odd parlays too. But Phil Hawes getting slept screwed us last week. And other than that, man, what a great fight that Billy. Who'd you have in the Billy Q Burgos fight?
Billy Q.
You picked him?
Yeah.
Do you think he won,
Joe?
Do I have no idea. I wasn't watching it. I was stuck in the field.
Okay. Well, it's one of the
being a
Bill, you have to watch that. You have to watch that card. It's probably the greatest UFC card that's ever been on.
But that Curtis dude, that was the one I told you fighters were starting to run from him, because he's always the last minute fighter that was ready to be a stand-in, and people were running from that dude.
Yeah, and then remember Bill's asleep in the truck.
Why.
So, but either way, Bill, the champ. Are you up by 3 again now? Because didn't you take another point from Joe like 2 weeks ago? Or did Joe get one back?
Which one was it? Which one was it, Bill?
But either way, he's still up 3, Joe. Like, come on. You got to start making some dents in this.
When we disagree, then we'll put one up.
Yeah. So, Bill, who do you got in this fight?
Okay, actually, Nick, your pick is not that far-fetched, to be honest with you.
Bet the draw.
It could be a draw. Actually, I think Yudong did have a draw like 3 fights ago.
Yeah. No, well, John did.
Yeah. I'm with Joe. I fucking hate teen alpha male guys. Almost every single one of them. But they do produce tough dudes. I'm going to lean on Yudong on this one with a split decision. I'm with Joe on that one. If I were to bet on this RC could go either way. So the safe bet would be to bet over 2.5. I think it's definitely going to decision. There's still little guys at the end and at the end of the day.
And RC is durable. So even if he puts it on him,
I don't see any one of these guys getting slept. So I would definitely go 2.5. But if you want to thin your odds out a little bit more, go with the Yudong split decision for sure.
There you go. So let's jump right to the next one. We got a welterweight fight, and we got Beza at 10-1 versus Williams at 12-2. Now,
Nick, before you pick, do you know their first names? Because that might mean something to you.
No, I didn't look at
Williams' first name is Chaos.
And Williams.
Beza's first name is Miguel.
Nice.
So you got Miguel against Chaos.
Well, I circled Chaos right away because just the way he just looks meaner. And I haven't seen this in a while, not since like the back in the days, replays. But he's gonna get him in the mount and he's gonna hammer fist him. I need to see somebody go down by hammer fists. So I got Williams second round KO via the hammer fists. Bill, what say you?
So, man, this is a tough fight too. I think it's going to be Beza, probably second round TKO. The safe bet on this fight is under 2.5 on this one. Both these guys, this fight is not going the distance. They're going to come out swinging on each other. One of them is getting slept. Beza is coming off of a loss, but is against Ponzinibbio.
Ponzinibbio, yep.
And it was a decision loss. Beza is a tough dude. They're really hyping this guy up to try to make a top 10 run. Go with Beza, second round TKO. But again, safe bet if you're unsure about which way to go under 2.5. And I would also put Williams as one of my DraftKings sleeper because he's going to get you points because he's going to come out swinging.
He's going to hammer fist him. You got to say hammer fist 6 times today. So, Joe, what do you got?
Virtually the same thing. Honestly, these first 2 fights are incredibly razor close in the competition. I mean, these guys are crazy matchups for each other. They're very similar fighters. Beza, I think, is just a little bit better. And if I could get this effing thing to pull up his reach, I know he's 6'2", but I just see Beza being the better fighter, the better athlete, a little bit sharper, and able to stay out of Chaos's range, which if he gets in it, we all know what Chaos can do. He's got a pretty serious one-punch knockout that's all over YouTube and is one of his last UFC fights. I can't remember. But I got Beza, and I'm going to go with Bill. I think Beza gets him done mid-second round. TKO.
All right, there you have it. So then we jump right to the next fight, and we'll stay with Joe on this one. You got a featherweight, all right, and it's a lady fight. You got Spencer at 8-3 versus, what is that, Letson at 5-2. Which one of them is named Leah?
Letson.
Okay, that's what I got. So Leah's a trash talker. So we're gonna just go with the name Leah. It's gonna be the fastest knockout ever, 0.3 seconds. Just so mark that down. That's probably going to be the best call of the year. So, Joe, what say you in the featherweight Spencer Letson fight?
I got Felicia Spencer and
bye Felicia.
Right.
Nope.
I got her by third round TKO. Actually, I think she's going to get her down on the ground, put her in a crucifix position or side control, and thump her out. I know that might be a little bit of a gamble. I probably won't bet it to finish, but I definitely am going to take her by decision because women's fights, let's all be honest, are fucking bananas the way they're judged. They're nuts. I don't know how Bill picks them as well as he does, because sometimes they make no sense at all. Like Miranda Maverick getting screwed in her last fight, had 80 to 30 strikes. So I don't know how they're scoring these things, but I do know Felicia Spencer gets takedowns. And I do know she's a very good wrestler, and she's a minus 300. So if you want to up the ante a little bit, better, to go inside the distance. Most women's fights don't. Probably get good money on it. So I got Spencer, third round TKO.
Nice. The champ, Bill, send it 7. What do you got?
Damn it, Joe. I brought up that Maverick robbery in a conversation yesterday.
It's horrible. Screwed us too, by the way. We all had her, and she
that
won.
was one of the worst decisions I've ever seen in my life. So this one, I got Spencer. The safe bet is decision. Spencer's coming off of 2 losses in a row, but those 2 losses are Dumont and Amanda Nunes. And she took Amanda Nunes to a decision too. So you know she's got a chin.
That's how good Nunez is. That ups your toughness in my book if you lost a decision to her.
Yeah. That really says something about Nunes when decision is a win.
A decision helps a decision loss helps your career.
Yeah. I did okay. I made it 3 rounds.
Hey, but Michael Chandler helped his career last week. That was a fucking war. Bill, you've got to find time to watch that card. I've never seen 4 fights that intense in a row. It was nuts.
And honestly, this is Letson's second fight in the UFC, and her first fight was against a no-name person, and she went to a split decision. I think Storyanko. So I got Spencer decision. She could finish in the 3rd round. I'm with Joe on that one. But none of these girls really have that huge power shot like you can see with Valentina or Amanda. But Spencer's got a chin, and I don't think Letson's. And again, another weigh-in one. I watched the weigh-ins yesterday, and Letson just looked like she had a really rough cut.
Like she got vacuumed out.
Yeah, she looked real dehydrated, real just, she looked almost like a Skeletor.
Somebody called it sucked out one day, and I was like, that's a perfect description of it. Yeah. It's like they're just completely dehydrated.
So I think she's going to start looking rough at the end of the 2nd round and into the 3rd, and that's when Spencer will just grind her out. So Spencer decision, if you want to thin out the odds a little bit because she's a pretty heavy favorite, go with the finish in the 3rd.
Hey, there you have it for that fight. If you're watching again, hey, just say hi where you're watching from. And if you got any ideas or picks on the fights or questions, just go ahead and ask them in the chat, and we'll get after it. Or if you just want to talk shit, that's another fun thing to do. I don't think Tanner Port's awake yet because I know he's not an early riser. He usually sleeps in, usually misses formation, but he went to warrant officer school where you can fit in for that. So Tanner, if you're awake and you're watching, it's time to go to formation, buddy. All right. So the next fight is a heavyweight fight. And this is my favorite fights to pick because I already know that I'm making money on both these clowns. All right. With this. So you got Rothwell at 39-13. And then who's this? The Lima guy, Rogerio, 18-8-1. Okay. Right away, I know these guys that I've kind of turned them a little bit with this. They're not going to bet the old guy. All right. But you look at this Rothwell guy, he's got like 740 fights. Right. And he's going to go in there with, no brain. Like his nose is probably flat. Right. Like his eyes have scar tissue that, look like ears, I don't know, whatever. So it's like, the old guy's going to win. And that's just what's going to happen. So, Bill, what say you?
Okay. So same thing. Watching the weigh-ins yesterday, Rothwell looked good.
Something's up with him, man. He's caught a second win in his career or something.
He started to look like shit for a while there, and you never knew which Rothwell was coming in.
Maybe he switched camps or something.
See how the narrative sense? See how the narrative changed? The narrative's changing now with these old guys. Look at you guys; they're all excited about these old guys. And you went
check that, Bill, and see if he switched camps because he's fighting like he's got a whole new sense of purpose.
You went a solid year with saying, "I fuck this guy; he's too old." All right,
for his normally he looks pretty chubby. But at the weigh-ins, he looked good. Now, De Lima, if you look at his record, all of his losses are submissions. And Rothwell has a submission game, and he's got a lot of submission wins. So I got Rothwell with a 2nd-round submission. I think because Rothwell also has a chin. He's got a real tough chin. So I think
he's violent.
They're going to start banging it out. Rothwell's going to stun him, and then he's going to mount him and do a rear naked choke on this one. So I actually have Rothwell rear naked choke, second round.
Very nice. And I gotta maybe
sound the alarms.
I gotta have Bill take like an anatomy class, because all these guys have chins, Bill. I've been looking at their pictures. If that's the way we're picking, just if they have a facial feature.
Who doesn't have a chin in heavyweight division? Stefan Struve.
It's been punched off.
It's been punched off. So,
it's literally gone.
Joe, who do you got?
I said sound the alarms. Same Z's. I don't think DeLima is going to have enough gas to withstand what Rothwell's going to do to him on the feet. And Rothwell's an extremely violent heavyweight. And it's like he's found all of a sudden, he's just found a new sense of purpose where he like goes out like he's trying to be lethal. And he is. He's a giant heavyweight. He's very well-rounded. He's seen it all. He's fought them all. And he's looked better in his last three.
Yeah.
I think DeLima maybe doesn't get out of the first round, but I think if he does, he's gonna not want anything else on the feet, go to the ground with the superior jiu-jitsu player, and get tapped out by Rothwell in the second. That's what I had.
That was
Same
one of
Z's.
That was one of my comments from one of my last films, was giant and well-rounded. So it was, just that kind of goes hand in hand with what we're talking about. But I'm
glad we could assimilate.
Yeah. But it's not very often you got experts call you giant and well-rounded. So here we go. We got the featherweight main event, and you got
fighter in the night to pick. And
you got my boy, the only UFC fighter that I know of that I met. I probably met 30 of them and probably made fun of them. Didn't know who they were because they always show up at army bases. Like I think it was was it Rampage Jackson?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he came into my fight house one time. I say mine because I was the HHC first sergeant and I signed for the fight house. So it's like, but he came in there one time and I was like, "Who's this guy?" And I walked out. And I think it was Rampage Jackson. So I'm not quite sure. But
did he have a giant chain around his neck like dog?
No, it was Rampage Jackson. I'm just making a little bit of a joke. I knew who he was, but I have to show face. I have to go in there as the big top dog and be like, "Who's this guy?" And then get out of here. Like I don't. Sweat me.
Yeah.
He's on the promo video with one of the greatest knockouts of all time. That slam.
I was like Paulie on Rocky. I don't sweat you. All right. So, but so you got Max Holloway from the islands. All right. The Wahoo boy. All right. 22-6 versus Rodriguez at 14-2. And I thought about this one, and I'm going to go Max with, a different type of version of the Gaddafi. All right. He's going to hit him. He's going to hit him with the shaka right in the lower section. And, wherever these two fingers end up, he's trained with him because that's all he does all day. All right. Aloha. All right. He's going to hit him with the Aloha Gaddafi. We'll go second round. We'll stick with the champ here. Bill, what say you?
Holloway's going to tee off on this dude like a golf ball, man. I mean, he's going to whoop this dude's ass. I like Rodriguez. I do. But Holloway's on a tear. I think he gets a title shot in the next two fights. Holloway is an animal. If it goes to the decision, it's going to be very lopsided, and it's going to be Holloway just jabbing the shit out of this dude. I got TKO. I'll go third round TKO, but I honestly think Holloway is just going to be smoking this dude for 3 straight rounds. And this dude just breaks his will and the dude just quits.
Here comes the meat wagon.
Yeah.
Wee. Sorry, I had to do
So
the alarm
Holloway
because
TKO. If it goes to the decision, it's going to be very lopsided. Holloway will probably land another 600 strikes on a dude. So yeah, Holloway TKO. We'll go third round.
All right. So it sounds like Joe's going to say the same thing. And, maybe Muffin Fingers, if back there, if you want to ever get creative, you can just have like hey, what's going on? You can have a little buzzer go off and I don't know who does that kind of stuff. But hey, if you're watching, say hi, say where you're watching from. And here comes Trigger Joe with his main event pick.
Yep.
All the way third round TKO.
Yeah, we got okay. So yes, but here's a little difference that I might have in there. I think he quits on the stool. I think in between the third and the fourth, I don't think Jair answers the bell. He's got one of those Diaz features, which means he bleeds a lot. Holloway landed 432 significant strikes in his last fight. He threw 700. He threw 700 in 25 minutes. Okay, averages over 7 strikes a minute. Deadly accurate. Yair's going to be a bloody mess in this one, and I got Holloway TKO third.
Nice. Yeah. So again, there's your fight picks, and now these guys are going to go into the nitty gritty how to make some money. And so let's stay with Trigger Joe. Who are your locks, your parlays, and your DraftKings sleeper?
My locks are Holloway and Rothwell. My DraftKings sleeper. Hang on, I'm running a little slow this morning, like always. My DraftKings sleeper is actually in Cheku in the first fight. He's a plus 100, so he's not really an underdog, but he's good money. And I like him to TKO that Jung. And then Woodson, is another one of my locks. Yep. His last fight, he absolutely murked the guy. I told you about it in the airport yesterday, Nick. Remember I told you the slam? He meant to do it. He set it up while he was holding the guy. He's very strong. He's got octopus-like tentacles. His arms are ridiculous. He's 6'1" and he makes it down to 145. So, I got him by TKO. So my parlay would sound like this. I'm going to go Holloway, Rothwell, Spencer, and then I'm going to go and check you to bump the odds up a little bit because I think he wins by TKO. So I'll play around with those bets a little bit. And if you're winning all the way into the main event, throw $20 on Yair in case he hits the miracle punch because it might pay back $1,000. So pretty long odds at this moment. But I like Spencer, Rothwell, Holloway, and Cheku. And that's my 4 fighter, but I'll probably do a few more. Oh, and Moises. It literally just pulled up, but I got Thiago Moises also. So
nice.
There we go.
Yeah, and then before we go to Bill's picks, it was Max Holloway where in one fight he was just like beating up a guy and then every third punch turning around and yelling at the guy's corner.
Yeah.
Right.
He was also the one in the promo video right behind Jim Carrey when they say let's dance. That was Max Holloway pointing, saying stand right here and swing for your life and I'll do the same thing. And then he did it. So Holloway's one of my favorite fighters of all time. He's just, man, he brings the fight and I don't think Yair is going to be able to get as ugly as he is.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch tonight. So, all right, Bill, give us your locks, your parlays, and your DraftKings sleeper. Now, pay attention if you stuck around for this because he wins a lot more than Joe. All right, go.
Okay, I'm going to give you 2 parlays, a safe one and then a long one. So my locks, same thing. It's going to be Holloway, Rothwell, Woodson. Those are pretty safe locks to go with. Safe parlay will be Holloway, Rothwell, Spencer, Woodson, Cavillo, and Diakese or whatever, however you want to say his name.
Diakese.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The long parlay you want to go with is Holloway, Rothwell, Spencer, Cavillo, Woodson, Casey versus Jojua. Jojua had a really rough cut and she missed weight. So she's just not going to last very long in that fight. So Holloway, Rothwell, Spencer, Cavillo, Woodson, Casey, Diakese, and then pick the Yadong fight to go over 2.5. That's a good fight parlay to go with and get you some good odds.
Who you got in the Moises fight?
Moises.
But you don't want to bet that one? I'm just asking.
Not really.
Okay. All right. Well, I like him.
Yeah. Alvarez might be the upset guy. But
I don't like the Cavillo fight, so I'm staying away from that one.
Yeah. So DraftKings sleeper with Chaos Williams might pull that off because those two are going to come in and just throw bangers at each other. One of them is going to sleep.
Hammer fists.
And then I'm with Joe. The very first prelim fight, guy's a plus 100. The Chikegu, this dude out of Africa. He looked really good at the weigh-ins too. I think he's going to come in and pull off an upset on Jung.
83 inches of reach.
Yeah,
dude. All right.
He's gonna put some hurting on Jung.
All right, there you have it. So, guys, stick around because the Big Earl's coming back next after this little break. So go get yourself a refill coffee. All right, make some toast or something for you old guys that can't handle eggs anymore. All right, or maybe some oatmeal. I think that's what Bill eats now. It's Mixed Star Major. You got to eat oatmeal like that. And I think you got to drink V8, right? V8 every morning. But
warm milk.
Yeah, the warm milk. But hey, Hey, check out our page, veterantrashtalk.com during the break, and go support all of our sponsors, and then support the stores at Gruntworks Clothing or shop.veterantrashtalk.com, and put in the code VTTGW during the show. Get yourself a discount. So stick around. In 2 minutes, we'll be back, and we'll be going over the Big Earl's NFL locks.
Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, E-double-L. I said so, I keep big bills up in my hood on the dirty like Bledsoe. Ain't got no twist in my head, but I'm still dreadful. And I got plenty of bread, so I go to bed full. I'm in it to win it, I'm all in. I might call you my cuz, young blood, but we ain't kin. You think of jumping, man, you best think again. The dirty, I'm the type of man that might go broke for revenge. Had some not so nice friends, kick the door off the hinge. Take the door off your bins, pop four of your friends. Man, please, this shit ain't cynical. Man, no subliminal, I'm physical, financial, and mental to be a general. Hey, the mama claims she want a soldier. Not the type be in the tank, but in that rover. Man, please, I'm in the zone like AIDS full blown. I'm killing it like a blind man reading. I'm feeling it like, oh, yeah. Here comes the, oh, here comes the, oh, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, oh, here comes the, oh, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, oh, here comes the, oh, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, oh, here comes the, oh, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like, he think he got her when he knew he soft his butter. He ain't never been a fighter. You can go and ask his mother. I'm a lover and a fighter. Producer and a writer. Give your girl a quick fix and give your man a nice shiner. You know y'all don't really want it. And I can tell just by looking at you that you the type to run and go and tell just by looking at you. You on a mission for recognition by this.
Back. Very nice. So we're waiting on Bill, which isn't that big of a deal, because the Sergeant Major can show up whenever he wants, right? That's what he's earned by being in. But again, he's
I got something we can fill the gap with. You're the expert here. I want an answer for what the hell happened with Miami and Baltimore. For that.
It's a good thing that we didn't do the show like on Wednesday or Thursday before the game. Because I would have told you to take out a second mortgage on your house and put it on Baltimore coming off a bye week, going against Miami, who didn't know who was going to play quarterback. All right, and wow, like what? So I don't know if Baltimore on their bye week decided to go do what the Giants do and go party with what's his name, Justin Bieber, down in the Gulf of Mexico. But they definitely didn't prepare for a team. And again, Miami, I've picked them a couple of times this year, and I think I've won both times I picked them, and that's not this.
Mark screwed me in fantasy.
Yeah, but
shit,
they screwed everybody
for sure.
I would like to caveat off what you said.
Should we go? Yeah.
Lay down a behoof.
It would behoove. Totally off topic. I had a, hey, look, there's a squirrel moment, but I just got a full length frame shot of Bill's legs, and they were lovely, if you will.
Yeah, they're not bad. But again, when you got all that time on the fob to just do squats and shit like that, you put on some weight. Like
something's telling me that Bill's gonna get scary big here over the winter.
Yeah, in Washington, yeah.
So, that's a safe bet.
Yeah, but nobody goes outside in the wintertime there. But all right, well, so the NFL. All right, the last 2 weeks, if you've been betting with the Big Earl, well, you've been losing with the Big Earl. All right,
we're sorry.
I am getting killed. All right, and most sports bettors are when 6 road underdogs with backup quarterbacks win in 1 week. What are you supposed to do? So that's what happens. But I did hit my upset pick last week. I said the Giants were going to win. So if you bet the Giants in that upset pick, you got some good odds on that because they were like 6-point dogs, and they ended up winning outright.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And again, the Raiders are just, it's a good bet when you want to do like a 50-50 because you just don't know who's going to show up. And so if you want to throw a little bit of money on a upset pick, that's a good one. I'm actually feeling the other way this time, but we'll get into that when we get into the game.
Mention another team, because every time you say Raiders, I just can't stop shaking my head.
Yeah.
Say something different.
And then you got old John Gruden suing the NFL now.
Hey, let's roll into it, brother. I got Atlanta 4-4 going to Dallas.
Yeah, Atlanta made
one.
Atlanta made the Big Earl look stupid last week, but
Dallas is -8.5 point favorites with a 54.5. I think Vegas is starting to catch on to Dallas a little bit.
Well, Dallas comes out and shits the bed against nobody again. So whatever, you're gonna come in and lose to Denver, and
that game was another one. I just sat there and watched it. Like, what the f? Like, in all seriousness, how does this happen?
Right, and it's like it's not even. It can't happen, but it does. It's any given Sunday in the NFL, and I got the boys. I'm not going to put the boys in any of my bets this week, but I got them to cover. I think that's a smart bet if you do it. I'm just not going to do it. What's next?
I think I got the same schedule up as you, but I got Buffalo going in to play the New York Jets. Looks here like it says the Jets are +12.5 dogs at home with a 47.5 over/under, and that's another game that I hate because of what Buffalo did last week.
Well, right, Buffalo, and I talked about them last week. I'm like, Buffalo's actually covered the most 2-score spreads in my life that I've ever seen in 1 year. Like, they covered the 20 against the Texans, they covered the 14 against the Broncos, and it was like how are they not going to cover against who did they even play? I forgot. Oh
God, I can't even remember.
Yeah, they lost though. They lost
Jacksonville.
They lost to fucking Jacksonville, right? What? So I like the Bills here. I like that young quarterback for the Jets. You see what he said in the interview when they asked him about his talent level. How is he confident? He goes, "I should have been the first pick of the draft." So it's like, all right, buddy. It's time to start backing that up. And but he's throwing. For
I enjoy that kind
yards.
of banter when it actually is I told you so moment, but sorry, buddy, you haven't told us so just yet. So you better strap it on.
Yeah, I like the Bills. I like the Bills to cover here. I'm not going to throw them in a parlay, but I like them to cover as well.
All right, this one should be a good one. We got Cleveland going into New England.
Yeah.
New England's a -2.5 with a 45 over/under.
Yeah, here's another one with which team is going to show up for Cleveland. And I know all three of their running backs are out again. So that alone, I'm just going to say, if you're going to bet, you got to take the Patriots at home. I don't think Bill Belichick has to do too much scheming in this game because of all the injuries with Cleveland. But so I like the Patriots at home, riding the hot streak.
All right, we got the abomination of my home team, Detroit Lions, going into Pittsburgh, -8. Pittsburgh is with a 42.5 over/under.
This is that game again where the Lions will be up by probably 2 scores at some point in this game. They'll lose by 3. So the Lions will cover, but they will lose.
Agree.
Yeah.
So we got Jacksonville going into Indy, with Indy a -10.5 at home, 47.5 over/under.
Yeah, Indy shouldn't have lost that game against Tennessee, and they came out firing the next week again too. They are rolling. I had that prop bet last week with Taylor from the University of Wisconsin that he would have over 150 yards rushing and then 20 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. I think he had 4 touchdowns, like 190 yards rushing. And he's just Taylor. He's hot right now. They're going to keep giving him the ball.
It hit.
It hit.
You hit it. Wow.
Yeah.
That's some serious stats to hang up, man. This isn't college football. Those are video game stats for a pro.
And he's I like the way Carson Wentz is playing too. He's one of those. He's having one of those Joe Flacco years. One of those Joe Flacco years back in the day where you don't want to say Joe Flacco was a good quarterback, but if you watch about 4 or 5 of those years, he was a very, very good quarterback and put up some serious numbers. But Carson Wentz is having one of those quiet years where eventually they'll start getting noticed that he's going to have 30-something touchdowns and like 5 picks. So I'm gonna go Colts here at 10.5. I think they cover.
All right, we got New Orleans, who's sneakily 5-3. Sneakily is the word. Going into Tennessee. Tennessee's a -3 point favorite, coming off of what did they do last week?
Oh, they massacred just absolutely screwed everybody's. They were a two-score dog as well, and they came in and just put a hurting on the freaking Rams. But like in LA, just brutal. But again, without Derrick Henry playing, and you got old Adrian Peterson playing for the Titans, if you have Derrick Henry in the field, you run the ball. But people are sleeping on the fact that the Titans have Julio Jones and AJ Brown. So if you have to throw, if you have to spend weeks scheming with, it's just two pretty good receivers to have to throw the ball with. So if they can keep Tannehill on his feet, this is a lock. I think the Titans, I think they roll the Saints in this game.
All right, we got Tampa Bay going into Washington. -9.5 with a 51 over/under. Tennessee's 9.5 point dogs at home, or Washington. I'm sorry, 9.5 point dogs at home.
Yeah, and the Buccaneers are missing Gronk. They're missing Brown, and it's rumored that Goodwin might not play either. So check the injury report on this one, prior to the game for a little bit of a Washington cover action here. So Washington, I still think the Buccaneers squeak it out, but Washington has that type of defense that can make Brady uncomfortable. And we all know what Brady gets like when he's uncomfortable, just like Peyton Manning, these great throwers of the ball that all of a sudden they look like, they look terrible. So they can't create outside the pocket. So watch Washington cover this game if they don't have those quick timing routes open because there's some of their fast guys are out. So I like the Bucs here, but Washington might cover.
We got the Fighting Kevin Travers Carolina Panthers going into Arizona -10.5 with a 44 over/under. I like the over on that game.
Yeah. All right, Kevin, you watching? I don't think he's watching. He might not be awake yet. The Celtic Warrior needs to get his ass up. But I'm going to go Cardinals as a lock at -10. All right. I'm going to bet them, and I'm going to buy the 0.5 point, which is only going to decrease the odds slightly from a -110 to like a -120. So I'm going to buy the 0.5 point to get that push at the 10. But I think the Cardinals here, as long as the clown ball doesn't happen like it has been, are gonna rock it. Oh, Kevin, he's on there. So
is he now?
Yeah.
Is he now?
But hey, Celtic Warrior, I'm gonna go Cardinals -10, bro. So if you want a piece of that action, let me know. I'm calling that a lock. All right, what we got next? Bill, feel free to chime in if you got any picks.
Hang on, we got if this thing will scooch over. There we go. Got Minnesota going into the LA to play the Chargers. Chargers are -3.
Yeah,
got that, Nick.
Yeah, the Vikings. The Vikings at the Chargers. This is an ugly game to bet. I'm not even gonna. I might watch it, but I'm definitely not gonna put any freaking money on this. The Chargers are so good on paper, and then they decide to lose. The Vikings, they have all pros on their team too that sometimes decide to show up and just drop video games.
They're 3-5.
Right. So
what's going on with Dalvin Cook, by the way? Is he going to get suspended for this?
I don't think so. I hope that Vikings treat it like like Nick Saban would, to where it's like, hey, this is America. Let's let him, have his rights before we suspend him, or like whatever. What? Yeah. So we'll see. Dalvin Cook. Yeah, he's like I said, both these teams, you don't want to say the other one's going to win because they're like, shit, who's going to show up? So I'll circle Chargers if I have to bet them. I'll take the home team, but I'm not touching this game.
Nick, I'm frozen here. Not this screen is. I'm trying to get this next game pulled up, but
yeah, you got Russell Wilson coming off injuries.
There we go.
Coming into Green Bay, where
and we skipped Philly Denver though.
Well, same time game, same time frame.
All right.
So, I'm a homer here a little bit. I like Aaron Rodgers coming in and absolutely lighting this game up, because again, the sports media is treating him worse because he didn't get a shot than somebody who allegedly raped 12 girls. Right. Like that. Like, just think about how they're treating some of these people, or you have a receiver going 150 miles in the car and killing somebody and nothing. Okay. But my God, you didn't get a vaccine. You're a horrible person. Like, well, yeah, I mean,
that's horseshit, man.
Last week we had an NFL player kill somebody. Okay. And we don't want to talk about that. Okay. Whatever. We'll talk about Aaron Rodgers, but again, the media's got to sell. So I'm gonna go Aaron Rodgers covering here with the Pack. It's only a 3-point game.
Nick, I got a caveat off that.
Yeah. It's coming, Jojo. It's coming. It's coming.
What's he saying?
Talk about the Eagles, and you're not gonna like what I say about them. But yeah,
we're right behind it. Listen, I gotta say something about the Aaron Rodgers fiasco. All these people, and I've got a whole new opinion of the Fox crew, all them dogpiling, saying you put us all at risk, jumping on. It's like, dude, why don't you throw another kick in while the guy's down? Like, it's so easy to just say, well, hey, America, look at me. I hate Aaron Rodgers too. Well, here's the problem with that. Rodgers is a cerebral assassin. He's not going to scream and yell and rah-rah, but right now he's sharpening his cleats to rip through Seattle and say you to everybody because he's been treated like shit, and he's going to come out of there like a caged dog. I got the Packers rolling and Aaron Rodgers throwing about 4 TDs.
No, I haven't been watching the news, but he's supposed to get cleared today. So also watch that. If he doesn't get cleared, Jordan's going to come in and the line will move. But like I said last week, was the Packers defense is playing very, very well, and they're not even healthy, right? So that coach, we like that move because obviously he's scheming right with less talent, and the Packers are getting healthier and healthier every week on defense, and that's going to be a Super Bowl caliber defense when those guys all come back, like Zadarius Smith, and if Jair comes back, like there's going to be some bruisers on that team. But yeah, what's the next one we got?
Let's roll with Philly, Denver.
Denver. Giorgio wants to talk about the Eagles.
-1.5 at home.
Yeah, and they're going to be a lock this week. I think Denver screwed me like on 2 locks, but they're going to hit it. They're going to hit him in stride, and the Eagles, man, like I like that chemistry. I like that team, but I like their coach, and that's why they play well with shit. But I like the Broncos, and I like their defense stepping up when they lost Von Miller. So maybe makes them play a little bit harder and, going after saying, see, we don't need these guys. But I like the Broncos in a lock at 1.5.
All right. We got Kansas City going into Las Vegas to play the Raiders, who are a plus 2.5 point dog at home with a 52 over under.
Yeah.
Kansas City does not make any sense how bad they are.
I hate both these teams this year.
Yeah, there's something in the offseason that's going to happen there, whether it's an offensive coordinator gets fired or, a development coach gets fired somewhere. Like something's wrong in the buffalo sauce down there, and whatever Kansas City's got feeding them guys the ribs.
I've got a solution to it. Give Patrick Mahomes what he wants before he asks to get out of town, because if you let him get away, you should never be allowed to say the word football again.
He ain't going nowhere with a $500 million contract he signed. So
exactly. And he bought a soccer team.
Yeah, nobody's picking that contract up except maybe the Cowboys.
No big deal.
But I like the Raiders in an upset here. So I think the Raiders upset them. Bet Raiders money line if you have to bet on this one for sure.
So Monday night we got the Rams going into San Fran.
Now, if I can just get one of my parlays to make it to Monday night, which I haven't been able to do in 2 weeks in a row, if I could just get there, this is another great hedge game because you take the Rams money line. And then you bet the Niners, to cover, and hopefully you hit both of those bets in your parlay, because the Niners, it's at home. The Rams, you got the 2 younger coaches going against each other, all the proteges, and I like the Rams here, but it's also a great hedge bet. So I'm +4 on locks this year. I went from +8 to +4 in 2 weeks. Not good. But it's still up. That's still winning, and I'm +1 on the upsets, which pays a lot more than the regular one. So that's a good one. So I like my parlays to look. I got Broncos, Cardinals, Titans, and then I'll throw some money line bets in there in some of the close games with like the Patriots, the Patriots, and then I like the Steelers. All right, that's a money line game. You take a money line, and you just maybe pay out your odds a little bit more. So other than that, do you guys got anything on the old NFL? See if we got any comments here. But again, guys, you bet the NFL, it's tough because you just never know sometimes who's going to show up. Like what third string safety comes in and just like starts laying the wood because nobody gave him any attention, and it's like, so who knows? But hey, big shout out to our sponsors again. Happy Place Hemp. Go there, get your Delta 8 CBD for your sleep and for your skin, everything. And I always use the story of my wife. She here in El Paso, real dry, and her hands have been cracked, and she spends $10 billion of my money on lotions for it. And turns out when you just rub the Delta 8 paste on your hands for that, it all went away. So it's weird that the natural, more healthier stuff actually works. It's shocking science. But so check them out, and then go to Zach Farkas, Veterans Mortgage Source. And if you're thinking about refinancing or buying, he's a retired, got out as a captain. So, give him the time of day, because he's going to give you free advice where most people, they're just going to try to sell you right away. So he's going to tell you what you need to be looking for, what you need to do. And we got 10th Mountain Bourbon, which I will be opening up shortly. And we can start doing that before our show. So a little 10th Mountain Bourbon, go there, use the code VTT, and get yourself a discount. Go to Gruntworks Clothing, and then go to shop.veterantrashtalk.com. Other than that, we got Clifford Ballman coming on the show in a couple hours for the Trash Talk Hour. What a tremendous story this is. He's a motivational speaker. He's got a blog on Rally Point, and what's the other one? Task and Purpose. He was in the Pentagon when it got hit, and was pulling some guys out, and he struggled with those demons. So he's brave enough to talk about them, and he's gonna talk about that on the show, and can't wait to have him on.
I've never spoken to anyone who was present for that. This is gonna be that kind of gave me chills just now. Seriously.
Yeah. It's gonna be a fun show. And of course, if Bill ever wants to come in, he's always welcome to do an artillery strike. Come in there and just start dropping the boom. Drop the boom boom now.
You owe us a pop-in, Bill. You owe us a pop-in.
Yeah. Before we close this out here,
I got 2 girl birthdays this weekend though.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
Get those right.
Yeah, basketball games tonight. Everything's gonna be a good time. So all right, we'll see you guys in a couple hours. Thanks for coming by with sports picks. And remember, if you can't gamble, don't gamble. All right, if you don't got the money, if it's an addiction problem, don't do it. But if you can throw $100 out on a weekend and have some fun with it, listen to our bets, because most of the time you come out ahead. So we'll see you guys in a couple hours. Thanks for stopping by. You stay classy, San Diego.